Welcome back to Tech TV. I'm here at 5G World and I'm here with Zara. Zara, so are you enjoying 5G World so far?
Absolutely. I think this is the first year where I see the level of excitement and engagement because most of us are deploying 5G right now, and I think it's a very happening event. It's been great.
That's good to hear. Well, you delivered a presentation on Viva Kuwait's 5G large-scale deployment story. Can you tell us more about this project?
Sure. So as you know, Viva Kuwait is a part of the Saudi Telecom Group, and we are right now undertaking one of the largest 5G deployments in the Middle East and Africa region. So I was basically talking about the rationale, the technology selection, as well as the business cases that we are developing in order to make sure that not only 5G for us is a technological success, but it is also a business success which is creating value both for our customers as well as our shareholders. And I think the key focus is that before you start the deployment, you need to make some choices, and these choices are going to really undermine or underline the output that you're going to have at the end of the day in terms of the performance you're offering to the customers, in terms of the verticals that you can target as potential customers, and the cost structures that you're going to develop in the long term.
And what have you identified as the key technologies to achieving this?
I think there are a few. So the first one would be the fixed costs, primarily the spectrum cost. I think one of the biggest challenges that the operators faced in 3G era was that the regulators priced the spectrum quite high. For 5G to make success, to be a success, the spectrum cost has to be manageable because it is fixed cost and it is something which is basically independent of the scale. The second one is the technology choice. One has to really make sure that you're taking the right technology choices that are going to enable you to deliver value at the lowest cost over the long term. Sometimes you choose a technology which may be cheap in the short term, but your subscriber base grows, this technology becomes more expensive to maintain. So technology choice is something which is very, very important. The third part is the products and services that you are developing. So when you're looking at 5G, there are the existing verticals for mobile broadband and consumer products, but there are new verticals that are also being created, like enterprise services, like IoT services, new eras like drones, communications, e-health, and all those things. So I think while you are making the technology selection, one has to be very clear in what are the verticals that an operator is going to play in, then try to make sure that those verticals are very well covered so that you can play to win. And finally, I think it is the operating model choice and the security, because your operating costs have to be at a minimum. So you need to make sure that not only do you have efficient operation, but also your network is robust and it is reliable and it is secure.
That's great. And what do you see as some of the biggest challenges towards successful deployment?
I think the first one would be the device ecosystem. That is one. Right now, the device ecosystem is quite small and it is not developing very well. The second one is on the pricing side and everything, how the 5G is going to be priced so that it can create value in terms of the operators that are deploying 5G. And the third one is the vendor selection, because recently there have been some developments in which certain vendors are disadvantaged. So while you're doing vendor selection, you have to make sure that long-term security of the vendor ecosystem also has to be there.
That's great. And finally, do you enjoy visiting 5G World?
Absolutely. I think 5G World offers you three choices. The first one, which I love the most, is that you get to meet old friends. And I think, telecommunications community and the mobile operator community is a small community and it's a well-dispersed community. So events such as these really help us meet old friends and hang out. The second one is that, especially the 5G world is always very well organized, and the selection of the topics is always one that is very relevant to the needs of the operator. So every time you come, you leave by learning something new that you did not know. And the third part is that London is a great country to, city to be in, and unfortunately this year it was a little bit wet, but still I always love visiting London.